turning off all my Facebook and WhatsApp, all my browsers, so I don't get any beeps popping up.
Same. I think we're good. And welcome to Alchemy 101. Guys, it has been a while. I am the Pharaoh of Frequency, your hostess that knows the most ghostess, Halo Marquise, coming to you live from somewhere in a little slice of cosmos. And tonight, we have a huge announcement, and I have a great friend and I think through the Cosmos Associate, Mr. Scott Manduck, on with us. How you doing, brother?
What's up? What's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm excited to have you on. I'm really excited to have you on the show.
It's been a long time, man. We've been talking about it for a while.
Dude, I was thinking about it, it's almost been, I think it's been a little over 6 months already. Like
it's been
so fast.
As they say, it's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right? It's been a long time, man.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So this is it's weird because we talk all the time, and usually when I'm interviewing and talking with someone, it's like getting to know them for the first time, but we talk. Guys, this is so anyone that knows me from Mystech, from Alchemy 101, from any of these things that I'm out here doing a lot of these off-the-wall crazy things, Scott has become one of my very new grounding but shining stars of guidance in a lot of ways. So
thanks, buddy. Thanks, man. Back and forth.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Awesome, yeah.
Sounding boards, man. We're sounding boards.
Dude, it's exactly what it is. I feel like sometimes I'm foreman in your house and vice versa sometimes. Like,
yeah, man,
it's an amazing thing to be able to bounce off. And I'll have you introduce a little bit of your history and everything here in a second, so people can understand why it's so important to me to have met you when I did, and knowing what you and your wife's history is and where you guys are now, and being able to see not just the Mystech part, but the oils and everything we're gonna be talking about tonight. But
journey, man. It's the journey.
It's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah.
And so tonight, if you guys are on Artists First, you're listening on the radio, I apologize that you guys can't do any live interactions, but you guys can message me, halo@mystech.net, and we'll get to you when we can. Otherwise, we do these shows live on Facebook every Thursday, occasionally on YouTube. You got to chase the wizard down, okay? But tonight, I'm very, very excited. We've talked about this on the show off and on, and I didn't want to do this without Scott being available. And so this man, world traveling all over the place, and it's hard to get him locked down. But luckily he made time for us. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. This is, like I said, it's been a long time. We've talked about this moment since probably almost the day that we met.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing journey. Loving having our almost daily now conversations. It's awesome. We're expanding, we're growing, we're changing lives, which is what this is all about. And it's all natural, and that's,
yeah,
dude, it's amazing what we're doing. I'm loving it.
It is. So let me get to that real quick. Let me go through this, how I met him, and then you can give your version if you don't mind, because it was pretty divine timing. So first, let me start with I met Scott when I was at my second ever Canadian event. Right, we had just launched Mystech.ca, and we were getting all these things together, and we had my new partners up there. And while we're at this event, I think there was probably like 7 or 8 other EMF protecting companies there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you wouldn't mind, because I've told this story a few times, but I haven't had it from your guys' side. You guys had you guys already asked other companies, or were we just the new ones?
We did. No, we actually spoke with because we had there's a booth there, the doTERRA booth that was there, and we were like, okay, this is kind of cool. EMF protection. Didn't really know what's this from whatever, and so we were like, okay, let's try this stuff, whatever. And you're at the show, right? And then we come over and we see Halo. He's like, looks kind of cool, dude. He had his. I think you had your gold.
The feather cuffs.
The feather cuffs on. I was like, that's pretty rad. It's like kind of like an elf. Like, that's wicked. And it was like, this is pretty dope. And I was like, all right. So I was there with Andrea, my wife, and my 2 kids, and Halo's there, and it was kind of like, you know what, this is a different vibe. Like, it was just different. And then we're at the other booth, and it was kind of like, the guy's literally all salesy, and he's like a used car salesman. He's like, oh, this will change your life, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. And I'm a skeptical person, as you know, right? Yeah. It was like, I'm like, prove to me how this stuff works. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And the other guy was trying to sell me and all this stuff. And it was like, there just wasn't a connection. It was just weird. So I was like, I don't know, let's keep on walking around, whatever. So we started going to different booths. It's like, you gotta go back to that Mystech booth. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. So we came back. I think we came back like 3 times, right? And it's like, okay, you know what? And then I was with Steve, and I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta talk to this guy. So then I started talking to you, and then you started explaining it, and then we did. Remember you did the strength test to Ryan, my son, Ryan? He was 10 at the time. So I was like, what's going on here? So Halo jumps up on a chair with my son. My son's 10. How much do you weigh?
205 at the time.
Right. So 205 at the time. My 10-year-old son lifted him in the air. I was like, what the word? It doesn't make sense. And I was scratching my head, and I'm a methodical person, and like, okay, I get a lot of stuff. This is kind of like, let's figure this stuff out. And it was like, okay, I gotta learn from this guy. Like, there's something going on here that I don't understand, and I need to understand more. And it came at a really good time because of some of the health journey issues that we're going with in our family.
Right.
So then we started having a communication about that, and we were using essential oils and stuff. And he said, dude, you got to try this. So it's like, all right, we'll give it a whirl. So that's how we kind of met from my point of view coming out. And it was just an instant, it was almost like an instant connection, bond, energy, weird.
And that should have already been happening for the last 2 decades. Like, it fell into like old friends for me. Like,
dude,
how you been? Right?
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like, this is cool. This is like one of my boys that I just want to hang with, and it's like, this is wicked. And now after all this time's gone by, we figure that we have music connections. We've been in the music industry, and it's like, wow, it's just crazy.
We know the same people in Phoenix.
Same people in Arizona, absolutely. So that was like, how is that possible? Like, like,
and so anyone that knows this from our YouTube channel, the live blood test that happened, that was because of Scott, right? He was a guy responsible for going, well, hey, look, we've tested other things. Let us test this. And I think you were with Steve and it was great because, guys, this was the type of skepticism, not cynicism, right? And it was, well, let's see. And it was funny because you guys know I've been doing this a long time, so I'm very confident in the tech. But I think, honestly, I freaked Steve out a little bit when I was like, oh, yeah, go ahead, go do it. And he was just like,
dude, we're calling bullcrap.
Immediately.
I'm like, this guy's, whatever, right? So we ended up testing both, remember? So we tested the other guys, which was like it was just a complete flop.
Right.
And then we came back, it's like, hey, can we borrow three bracelets or something like that? You know what? So like, you know what, take these 3, and know what, he'd take this necklace too. It was like, it wasn't even a thing. It's like, yeah, I got you, don't worry. And I say that, yeah, I got you, because you always say that. Yeah, I got you. Right? So it's like, okay, we'll do it. So, and then after we did it, it's like, what?
Yeah, and I was literally like in the middle of a pitch with another group, and I could hear your whole party screaming from across the thing. And I look over, and they got the paper in their hands, like, it worked. And
we were 2 rows back. Remember, we were 2 rows back. It's like, holy crap, man! Do you see this? Look what's going on here. And the technician was going nuts. And then the technicians came over afterwards, like, what is this stuff? We've never seen this. And these are technicians, people that literally do this for a living. So they're like, we don't understand how this works. Like, why is this? Like, explain to me how this bracelet is doing that. And it was one of those things. So it was like, and that's when I jumped in. It's like, dude, I need to talk to you. I need your business cards. I need to know where you live. I need your mobile number. I need to know your favorite color. I need to know everything about you. It was just great info. And it's like, dude, you're on, like, this is an amazing journey that you're on, and it needs to get to people, period.
Yep. And you guys like this so much, like, they talk about doing a white label thing, and then he introduced me because, again, they were there for doTERRA, right? And if you guys know me, I'm all big on holistic, everything out there. And it's funny, me and Sam talked about this in length. Essential oils have always been in my purview. I know we've talked about it on the show. I know I've definitely talked about people in Mystech, and I'd heard of doTERRA, and I'd heard of New Lig, but I'd never got the, like, like you mentioned, the connected version from a person. It always felt like a pitch, and I'm sure there's something to it, but I've been so caught up in my frequencies and all those other things. It was like, whatever. And it was interesting because we're in the middle of just building our relationship and talking, and I was still questioning about oils, but then this COVID thing hit.
It was before COVID. Remember, you actually, it was
2 weeks.
It was January.
2 weeks before. It was literally 2 weeks before.
Yeah, because that's when you were sick, and then Zion got sick, right? So
yeah, well, he got sick first. It was actually, we were at the Conscious Life Expo.
Yep.
And me and Jade, we were at the expo with Jared, one of our other resellers, and my wife was in California because her sister was getting married.
That's right.
And Sunday they were supposed to be flying back, and I'm not hearing from anybody all day. We'll come to find out, my son was in the emergency room with we didn't get tested or anything, but with what I'm now in the impression was COVID, because every single symptom that they talk about from this thing, that's what he experienced. And we were in and out of the emergency room every day for like a week and a half, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And like, it's pneumonia, but there's no phlegm. His temp kept fluctuating. And I was like the most scared I've ever been in my entire life. And I was talking with Scott, and he was like, dude, try these essential oils. And I'm going to send you some samples of doTERRA. And then he started breaking down. I didn't get the sales part now. There's already a friend of mine I've connected with, and he's breaking down the science of why these oils are so important versus other essential oils. And guys, it's not to say that the term essential doesn't mean just that, but with all things, your level of purity, process, so many things of what go into us are actually what we're consuming more than we realize. And when he was breaking down just the level of cleanliness, the ethicalness of the company, the real goal and idea of what they're trying to do, completely fell in line with everything in Mystech. So I was very comfortable to be like, all right, send it over. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I was expecting to see something. I just didn't know what. And I'm telling you, my whole household was debilitated because of this. I wasn't doing Alchemy 101. We were getting behind on orders. I didn't want to accidentally touch something and send it out to some other part of the world. And so we were wrecked. When I got his sample pack in the mail and got a diffuser, and he literally, guys, walked me through not just how many drops, like what kind of diffuser, make sure it's got this, all the extra little things that I really care about, and like it was already there. And my entire household 180 immediately. Even with all the Mystech stuff we had with our frequency, all that, like this seemed to be a missing link to my household and to my lifestyle. And I was just blown away. Charles, like, dude, we got to do something together. Like we got to figure something out. And tonight, that's kind of what we're announcing.
There we go. And you bring up a few really good points that I just want to circle back, because purity, potency, and how they're actually grown, all this sort of stuff is super, super important. And a really good example is like frankincense or peppermint. You pick one of them. Is if you have a greenhouse and you're growing an actual tree in a greenhouse in the middle of Chicago or wherever it may be, versus where it is in India or wherever that plant is naturally grown and harvested, that is where the purest and potency of the actual product is. Now you take how it's distilled and how it's actually created that way without adding your synthetics, your fillers, and all this other crap to it. That's what we're talking about. And that's where what you're doing right now with this awesome, amazing blend, it's so amazing, because now you have the most pure, potent products, and it's all for Mother Nature. doTERRA is gift of earth. That is the name. And what do you do best? It's frequency, and it's all from Mother Nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a perfect blend, perfect mix. I'm so happy that it helped you guys through those times, and it's now becoming, and it should be part of everyone's regimen. It's part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree.
You the Lamborghini, man. Like
dude. You know from I mean, look, you know from talking with me and people that are on the show have been with me for a couple of years now, to know how like dead set I am about these routines and these steps and making your day-to-day like as magical and alchemic as possible, because these processes are what introduce these things and create these things. So for you to be able to break it down, you didn't just say, well, get this. It was, again, alchemy. Like you broke it down to, well, it's for this. It's the purest version. Like you guys, I believe doTERRA has the only like frankincense that you can even eat. Am I saying that right?
frankincense, the way their frankincense, I actually take it internally every day. It is phenomenal. There are other frankincense versions that we don't want to label those, but they're not pure. They're not. It will say. I literally just got off a conference call right before this. It was actually part of the conversation because this person has a peppermint essential oil, and it says right on the bottle, get this, peppermint, which we can take internally, peppermint, right? Peppermint tea, peppermint. It's peppermint. You can take it internally. It helps with head tension, stuff like that. It's great for digestion. It helps keep your body cool. Peppermint has many tools, right? But her bottle says you can't take it internally. You can't put it on your skin, but you can diffuse it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, so ask yourself that question. You can't take it internally. You can't put it on your skin, but you can put it in a diffuser and breathe it. Okay. So if you're breathing it, it's going internally,
right?
It's affecting your organs, it's affecting your cells. That is not pure. I'm just saying, yep. Right? So it's just like, you mean you can take peppermint internally? So I grab my peppermint bottle, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh my God. I go, what? Everything's all good. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean, where it's the education, same as Mystech, right? It's the education, so they understand what it's actually doing to you, right? And if it's all natural, your body naturally wants to use natural things. It's the way our bodies are made.
You know, yeah.
Right? Wow, it's funny how that works, right? Yep. So it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, and dude, like even so for me now, like when you mentioned peppermint, there's been times where, because as we've been, and Scott will tell you, he's been with me through a lot of this, I'm sleeping even less than before. We have, like, this is one thing where there's so many things are going on that I've been getting headaches, and I usually don't. And he's been walking me through, like, dude, do this with the peppermint. And I'm going, what? And again, it's one of these things to where, like, now when I get a headache before, I'm like, man, I want to take something. But now I'm like, oh, I just grab the peppermint. And it's one of those things, like when if anyone's ever tried being a vegan for a while, right? Or cutting something out of their diet, like the first few days, it's weird because your body still feels like it's addicted to it. But then once that's released, you're just like, I don't even want that anymore. And that's what these essential oils have freed up, like a lot of areas in my life that I've noticed that before I was going to do this thing instead, or I want to take this medicine instead. But now I'm just, like you said, I'm using nature's remedies in a completely different way. And luckily enough, I've got access to Mystech technology that we're going to do this new thing. And so I think maybe I should get into that real quick and cover it, and then we'll get back into the
man. Let's
do it. Kind of what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you guys are here in the channel, or you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, and you see this, our new division of Mystech that we're going to be launching. I don't have a date yet, guys, but very, very soon. All right, I'm rushing everything as quick as I can. You guys have been so supportive and so anxious for it, but I don't want to do it wrong.
It's launched today, man. It's launched today.
Yeah. And if you guys do want to, like, find out and want to do pre-orders now, if you're okay to know I don't have all the packaging to show you, I do have everything else. And I'm going to show you guys some of the things I've got now. And so this is what's happening. Mystech is going to launch Emerald Alchemy. It's going to be our new division for our essential oil line, but it's going to be provided from, right over here. This one right there. There you go, bam. Emerald Alchemy, right? And anyone that knows me, if you look into Emerald Alchemy, you guys will get the thing. Love you guys. Appreciate you. It's going to be oils that are actually imprinted with their corresponding frequency. Okay. And now that me and Scott have gone back and forth, and I'm sure he knows I'm just as crazy as the rest of you guys know I am, how obsessed I am with, like, the numbers 3, 6, and 9, right? This is part of Teslan theory. This is part of the makeup of the universe. Here's what's so crazy, guys. I'm not going to give you guys those other ones yet because we're technically still doing a little bit more fine tuning and researching, but the frequency of myrrh, what's right here somewhere, right there, that one, bam. Okay, myrrh, right? Something like that. There you go. Myrrh is actually resonant at 105 hertz, which oddly enough is a 6. So here we are on the first blend that we're going to do, and I'll get to that in a second. But it's weird to me that the moment we decided to do this, that one of the 3 ingredients we chose, and again, how many 3 is, again, one of those 3, 6, or 9. So I think it's fantastic. We've done multiple episodes because of COVID and because of all these things that are happening and changing in the world about this being the age of the Phoenix. right? And on the show, we talked about this before. I came across that the Phoenix nest, and I don't know if you've looked into this yet, Scott, but I'm going to read some of these things so you guys can see the level of alignment on these herbs and these frequencies. So much more insane and on target than I initially thought, right? So the Phoenix, if you guys don't know, is the bird of fire that when it feels it's ending the time of death for its lifetime, it actually makes a nest out of myrrh, out of cinnamon, and out of sage. And so those three things burning together, that is the ultimate smell, frequency, energy attunement of that transmutation of the Phoenix death into rebirth of a new time. So as I was talking with Scott about this, I was like, dude, what if we just like, I was doing the incense, burning those every day. And then Scott goes, dude, you know that we have these in essential oils and that this is going to be like chemical free. I do. I remember that. And you're like, and so it's going to be chemical free, even better than the incense. And I was like, wait, what? And immediately I was like, okay, wait a second. And so he's like, let me send you some samples. And so, guys, and try it. And so through doTERRA, and again, guys, I'm using them because all the research, everything I've seen, sales, marketing aside, like at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking for the best result that I can find. So from everything I've done, they have cinnamon and they have myrrh, but they do not have sage currently, not just sage. So right now, our blend is going to be doTERRA cinnamon, doTERRA myrrh, and then we're finding the next purest organic sage that I can get. Okay. Now, what we're doing because of Mystech is we've created this amazing kit of the Phoenix frequency, right? So you're not just going to get the myrrh, cinnamon, sage oils, but it's going to come in a bottle, right? And I'll show you this, not this one, but it's going to come in an amber bottle that's been imprinted to those three different frequencies. So you'll get a model of myrrh that's set to 105 hertz. You'll get the cinnamon one that's set to the cinnamon frequency. You'll get the sage one. And this is a funny thing I didn't talk to you about yet, but I wanted to tell you this like live so we can have the real response. When I was talking to John about this, because he's like, dude, if we do, and guys, John's one of my engineers that runs our stuff. And he goes, you know, if we put 7.83 hertz into anything else, it changes the taste and it changes the scent and it changes these things because fundamentally we're changing the molecular makeup. And I said, well, look, I'm not worried about that because we're just setting these to the frequencies that they're already at. So if anything, it's just going to refine it to its purest form. And he was like, oh, shit, I didn't even think of that. And he was like, so it's just going to make it even more energetic and more powerful of what it's supposed to do. And I'm like, yeah. And so to me, guys, get this. We're starting with doTERRA, which is giving you the purest, most potent version of that oil essence anyways. And then we're adding the Mystech frequency to it just to develop it and enhance it and refine it even more. So to me, it's like the perfect pairing. And so you'll get the 3 bottles separate, and then you'll add those 3 together in equivalent drops. And watch this. Hold on, I got it right here. Okay, this is a really big deal to me. So I wanted to do as professional and clean as I could get. So guys, look, in the kit, you'll even get, I'm gonna show you guys this. And if you're on Artist First, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to look it up. Yeah, find me on YouTube, Alchemy 101, Halo Marquise. Look at this diffuser, guys.
There we go.
Can you see this? Woo! So you're actually gonna get a doTERRA diffuser. It'll end up having our Emerald Alchemy logo on it, but you know, we don't want to hide. You're getting good doTERRA quality. Guys, the weight of this thing, when I opened this, I freaked out. I had no idea it was going to be so heavy, feels solid. We're going to offer it in black and white, and then you'll get the 3 vials, and then you'll get the roller ball. And I got some of this part because I'm a crazy wizard guy. So part of what I did for my blend, and then again, if you guys can't see the video, sorry, Artist First, but I've got a roller ball blend where I did about 21 drops. And Scott had mentioned that because the potency is so high, we're probably going to suggest anywhere from 3, 6, or 9, maybe 15 at most. But again, very cautionary, so on. But when you put the drops in, you add your fractionated coconut oil, right? And if you guys look at the Emerald Alchemy logo, which is the Platonic solids within Metatron's cube, right? You're actually going to get an imprinted alchemy disc, like an acrylic disc that has this laser engraved on it with a bead of moldavite, which is known as the stone of transformation, that once you go through your alchemic process of combining these essential oils, adding the fractionated oil, setting your intention, you drop this moldavite in, and you have the supercharged Phoenix frequency, not just from the oil, not just from the Mystech, but the harmonious version of all that with your intention. And I've been doing it for like a week. And I'm gonna get to this next, this mixed with the doTERRA supplements that I started taking,
Oh, yes.
Guys, I'm going Mach 17,000 in ways I wasn't before.
Mach 17,000.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the number. I've measured it. Okay, we got to see it. You know, we got a lot of weird tools at Mystech. You know, and even my wife has just been like, all right, I'm gonna stay away and let you do your thing because we have so many things that are happening. And so that's gonna be the first thing, guys. We're very happy to announce Mystech's Emerald Alchemy essential oil line and the Phoenix Frequency Kit will be the first thing available. We're guesstimating right now it's going to be a couple $100 for the kit. We'll probably do a pre-order, but if you guys are interested and you don't want to wait and you just trust that I know what I'm doing, get a hold of me and I can get you guys like early versions of it if you don't want to wait till the whole thing's all over. But I want to give you guys a very good quality, amazing thing. Now,
the cool part too is when you actually get it and they have it, it already has the frequency in the bottles. So when they do the refill, you're just taking the refill, putting it into the existing bottle, and you guys always have that because the frequency is always in there. We know this,
right?
So it will always be charged. It's always going to be like Mach, was it 53,000 or whatever we're going to be at? It's going to be amazing. So it's such a great idea because you're taking the Mystech technology frequency that we have, and now you're going to basically give it it's going to give it like a huge boost in a natural way.
We're about to oil the gears. We're going to oil the gears.
Dude, I love it.
Is that what we're doing? We're oiling the gears.
We're oiling the gears to go Mach 20, right? Or
16,
or whatever we're doing.
Yeah, we got you.
It's going to be amazing. So with that is when you have your oils, you just reorder, bada boom, you get it to your door, and you can actually self-order, right?
Yeah. And so you don't have to wait, and it's all automated because, guys, this is the thing. So I don't know how many people on the show, if you're new, you're old, whatever, but so Mystech, we already offer like a distributorship like program, and we have a handful of resellers that during this crazy time of the world, everyone's flourishing like crazy. I feel so amazing about knowing that. But with this, I know some people don't want to sell jewelry. They don't want to sell the tech, and some people are into essential oils. So with the kit, I don't want to keep having you overpay to keep getting these imprinted vials. So with it, you'll just get a redirect to go to the doTERRA site and order the oils directly from there, like Scott was talking about, and just refill that way. And me and Scott will still talk, and I'll get trained up on it. But so if you guys decide that you want to go the route of essential oils and everything, that's something I'd love to help you facilitate as well.
It's super important to have the Mystech though, because of what it's actually doing. Because now we know blood doesn't lie. We know from a live blood test, right? We know Mystech technology affects you on the cellular level, period. That there is no longer a thing.
Right.
If you're skeptical, go get your blood tested. Look up live blood test near me.
Yep.
Go get it done. Come buy a couple bracelets. Go back a week later, get it done. We'd love to hear your testimonial. That's all I got to say. Because we know that it works. So if you can take it to that level and now add essential oils to it, and now you have great supplementation, you have enzymes and probiotics, you have the best of the best on you and inside you at all times.
Yep.
It's such an amazing, beautiful blend. Dude, I am so excited and stoked that this is actually happening.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Well, and the best part of it is you know, my design team and my engineers always think I'm talking crazy, right? Because I'm living from this other whatever. But now that they've seen these results and they've been able to duplicate these things, like going and testing the Myrrh, for example, once we got that on there, immediately, boom, 105. I'm like, oh, that's what these guys had. So they're like, oh, maybe these guys do know what they're okay. And so now what we're finding out is as this unfolds, like the Phoenix frequency, that's going to be our first main one, right? As we're going through the age of the Phoenix, I really want to get that out there and help as many people to be able to transmute all this craziness into the new beautiful thing, right? But now we've got the listing for so many other herbs and so many other oils. And so with Emerald Alchemy, like after the Phoenix frequency, I know, guys, again, I'm going to throw it out there now. I know we're going to do a Thoth frequency for sure. I know that we'll do all sorts of different ones, but they're going to be essential oils paired with these frequencies. So it's going to be a multi-dimensional healing modality that really you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. And we're just going to continue to cultivate these things depending on what you guys want to be able to have. And I'm fortunate enough to have Scott that comes from a background that understands the easy business parts and the easy sciencey parts, to where if I'm like, hey, and I start talking to Wizardy, he was like, okay, but what about the science? Or what about this part? And then I just have to rephrase it. And so it's a perfect synergistic approach to all these
You
things.
got to have that because it's not people have the brain power of Halo. You know what I'm saying? So we got to bring it down to a realistic approach to say, listen, this is what it's doing to you from a science point of view. Science doesn't lie, really. If you have the proof, let's roll with it. You know what I mean? And the amount of testimonials that we have, that you have, that we have, you combine the two, it only makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's natural Mother Nature's gifts to us that we're now spreading even further, that we got to do. It's amazing.
Dude, I love it. I love how you say it. So look. So I gotta do this really quick before I miss this. So again, the Phoenix frequency, right? I gotta read these things here because this is nuts. So when I look up like metaphysical properties, healing properties of all these different ingredients, right? So when I pull up myrrh, right now, guys, again, we're thinking Phoenix, we're thinking rebirth, we're thinking metaphysical transmutation, all these things. So I'm going to name some things, and you guys will just be able to do the math automatically. All right. So correspondence for myrrh. You've got the moon, you've got Saturn, you've got water, earth, and you've got fire. If we're talking about a cleansing, we're talking about a grounding, we're talking about a cleansing, that's all right there, right? Now me and Emerald Alchemy and choosing the old Egyptian approach as that's what my intent was. This is associated with the goddess Isis. Its power planet is the moon. Its gender is female, its element is water, and the chakras are solar plexus and heart. Now, solar plexus is your fire that's the will of fire. So it's very interesting to me that's Phoenixy to me. That sounds great. Aromatherapy. Guys, I want you guys to keep these things in mind because as obviously I'm talking frequency because that's my expertise, but I do not, and I'll do my best to start transitioning more of the aromatherapy and topical benefits as well. Just got to get used to the lingo and vernacular. But hey guys, again, this came about during this crazy time. I'm not going to say it again what's going on right now, but myrrh, known to relieve for colds, congestion, cough, bronchitis, phlegm. Inhaling it is a sedative scent. It's known to lift moods, promote the feeling of being grounded, encourage feeling of spiritual awakening. And then when you get into the topical of it, it does things like eczema, works as an astringent, strengthens the muscles, smooth skin, all sorts of stuff. And then we get into metaphysical, meditation, healing, wisdom, emotional balance, ancestors, attraction, cleansing, and protection. I'm like, man, that sounds like
sounds like a good mix.
Amazing. That's just from the myrrh.
Yeah. So with myrrh, people have a question like, well, essential oils have been around for thousands of years. Myrrh and frankincense, they're in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people don't know that. Like these have been around for thousands and thousands of years that people use to basically help support themselves and support their system. So it's like, hello, it's myrrh. It's in the Bible, man. Right. And it's such a powerful essential oil, and it's so perfect for that blend, especially for everything you just listed off. I didn't do that homework that you just listed off. I did some of it. Dude, that's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, I had no idea. And I was reading that and I was like, okay. And it mentioned the thing about the Bible too. And even in the Bible, whatever you subscribe to, guys, whatever, I look for patterns, right? That's what I look at. So even in the Bible, myrrh is the most overused herb out of anything else in there. Yep. Right. So regardless of your feelings on that, if there's stuff about healing and helping, I'm all for it. So again, I just see more synchronicity of what it is. Right. So then we go to cinnamon bark. Right. Also very, very interesting. We don't have the frequency just yet. We're a few days out actually, and then we'll have sage after. Correspondence, Sun and Mars, Aphrodite, Dionysus, Mercury, Venus. Mercury, it's the hottest planet. We're talking about the Phoenix. I'm with it. Venus, we talk about this love and stuff. Its power planet is Mars. This is the masculine, still water, root and sacral. Known for blood sugar fluctuations, car sickness, funguses, morning sickness, slow digestion, slow metabolism, upset stomach. And if there's any one thing I can say from talking with Scott that has been another big focus of mine and my family is gut focus. And so I did a post online the other day. Very soon we will be releasing a Mystech electrolyte, whether it's a probiotic or an energy drink, a tea, but we will be offering stuff to be able to get Schumann and other frequencies from the inside out that I think is also going to be fun to pair with these supplements I'm using with doTERRA. So
for sure.
Yeah.
The supplements with doTERRA, they actually come in a veggie cap, and they're actually powder based, so it's actually easy digestion, all that sort of stuff. So you've been taking it; it's been fantastic. So
well, dude, look, so you guys, a lot of people don't know this. When you get them, the ones I've got, there's 3 bottles, and you take 4 of each, right? And it says, take with food. There you go, bam, there you go. It says take with food. So I don't really eat a lot. I drink a lot of water. I have coffee. I don't eat a lot. I take all of them all at one time.
Times, man. You just eat at weird times. That's
I do.
You only sleep 2 hours a night, maybe.
Yeah. But I'm saying, what I'm saying is though, like I take all of them on an empty stomach all the time, all in just like 2-3 swallows. I take all of them, right. And they're so light. I don't have any stomach anything. I'm just like, right. Oh, it's great. And there's other supplements. I've taken 1 pill, and I'm just like, oh my god, what did I do to myself? Like this is a terrible idea. So
with these supplements, though, want to put precaution in case people are looking it up. You do want to take it with food.
Absolutely.
Right?
Don't do anything that I do. I'm crazy.
So it is definitely a whole food. There's a whole food multivitamin. There's one for anti-inflammatories. There's stuff for we'll get into the details on another podcast. But do take them with food.
Yeah. Everyone else take them with food. Don't do what I do. Okay, But I was as example's sake. Yeah. Like they're just weird. And a couple of things I want to touch real quick. This was amazing to me. For cinnamon, because I didn't know this, right? For the metaphysical properties, consecration, like setting a protective barrier and cleansing of all negative everything, right? Healing, home protection, love, lust, money, protection, sex, quickening of your intentions, spirituality, success, victory, purification, divination, and enhancement. Now, the reason I want to point this out, this what freaked me out, is it said it quickens manifestation, right? Now, I've been talking to you for a while about I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I'm telling you, the 2 things I noticed when I put the 111 hertz frequency on, that was one. But when I started using this blend, and I had no idea that the cinnamon was quickening things, but I've been using this every morning. I've been putting it on my back. I wake up, I take my supplements. I have my wife put like 3 lines up and down my spine. And immediately I can feel that versus the supplements, and it gets warm and tingly and very invigorating and just, this little fire, very phoenixy. And then I get up here and I'm like, oh man, what should I work on right now? And everything is just very clear, but I didn't know that the cinnamon might have something to do with making all these things happen faster. And so again, I don't believe in coincidences, and I'm not gonna say, guys, this definitely is gonna make all the magical things definitely happen, but I'm saying the same way that I just says have with food and I don't. What my experience has been with this is it has definitely sped up all the intentions and all the manifestations like drastically, into where we haven't made the announcement yet. We're moving quicker than we thought, right? This is happening. We're launching 3 new product lines all at the same time, quicker than I thought, but everyone's demanding for them. And even this stuff with doTERRA, like I told you, I ordered the sage and it showed up the same day.
We just talked about this literally, 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe you ordered all that stuff. It was like shaboom. I'm still waiting for stuff I ordered like 10 days ago because of COVID and all that sort of crazy stuff. But I don't know, dude. It's the universe is speaking very loudly. That is for sure.
Dude, it is. And that's one of those things, like, I feel fortunate enough to know, like, I'm going to misquote this probably, but regular medical field for like 30 some years or something. With your wife? Your wife
She has been ultrasound tech for probably 28 years, 29 years. So yeah, it's been a long time. She was head ultrasound tech. She's been in the medical field for a long, long time.
So that's another thing I thought was great about kind of how we paired and how we met, is I know you guys are coming from this very medical, very understood background.
Absolutely. My mom worked at a very large hospital. So we're very Western medicine, very scientific biology, all that sort of info. And that's what my wife has brought to me, because that is not my background. It is now for the past many years, because of the health challenge that we're going through, and through Mystech technology, of course, amazing, love it, as well as now with essential oils. That's why I'm saying it again, is it's such a beautiful mixture to have together because of what it does together. And when you do live blood tests, before you have Mystech on, you can actually see your blood all clumped up together. It's moving super slow. You can see parasites, you can see bacteria, you can see digestive protein, you can see your immune system. And when you have Mystech on, it gives it the ability to separate. And from there, when your blood is in an oxygenated state, that's an amazing thing because parasites can't grow in an oxygenated state. They can't, right?
Right.
So when that happens, bacteria has a hard time growing. So once again, if your blood's in an oxygenated state, that means what? Your immune system's now stronger. It's now moving. And now you add these supplements onto it. You now add enzymes into it, terrazyme and probiotics, and the essential oils on top of it in your regimen. It's an unstoppable force. It is the best gift that Mother Nature could give us because there's no side effects. As this famous line, because I was talking with Steve, and Steve and Kimberly are the Canadian founders of doTERRA. So they're at the very top of doTERRA. They've been around for a long time, very, very knowledgeable. And they say this line, and I laugh because when you say how many people die of medications, we talk about this all the time, right? More and more people die of medication every single day, right? And these are just over-the-counter medications, right? How many people have died of essential oils? Big fat zero.
Doesn't happen.
Right?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that it doesn't have, Western medicine doesn't have a place. It does. Integrated medicine is very, very important. But preventative medicine is what we're talking about, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What Mystech is all about and what doTERRA is all about is preventative. We can prevent a lot of this stuff from happening to us before it even happens. So now you have the best of two worlds working together hand in hand and making some big changes at the cellular level in our body.
Yeah, it's insane. It is, dude. And that's why I've been like, and I appreciate your slowing me down every once in a while, but this is why I've been in such a rush to get this done, guys. Like I know, like I have access to this stuff before anyone else does. I can feel it. I've seen it in my children. I've seen it in my wife. I've seen it in people I've sent this stuff to. And so I'm just like, I'm in such a rush to get this to as many people as possible. And you actually just mentioned something that we haven't really talked on yet that I think is another really big key potent part of this. Earlier, you know, Harry was getting in on his talk earlier. And one of the things that he mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure I bring this up, is when your cell structure is distorted from EMFs, right? As great as any of the medicines out there are, you're getting massage, you're getting surgery, you're getting your essential oils, you're getting your vitamins, your body is not in an alignment to be able to get all the potency of everything that you are getting. It's just not. It's not. And these things are still impacting you in such an incredible way. So I'm not saying if you don't have Mystech, don't get our essential oil. I'm not saying that. You still need the essential oils. They're still amazing. But if you can have an essential oil like these guys have been using for years, right? And it's impacting your body in such an amazing, such a fantastic way already when your body is not working electrically at the full potency, right?
I have the perfect example to explain exactly what you just said, because this is exactly what happened with Andrea's story. So with Andrea, my awesome, amazing, lovely, dearly wife that I love so much. She's awesome. She allows me to do all this crazy stuff. And with Halo, of course. So she's been dealing with some health issues, and with these health issues came a lot of symptoms, and these symptoms, we are still trying to figure these things out. And with that, she was on Lyrica, which is a nerve blocker for your actual nervous system, because she had nerve pain through her entire body. So the example of that, to give you a visual, is that when you sleep on your arm and then you wake up and you're like, oh, and it's painful because the blood's now going back into it, that's her whole body. Her entire body, head to toe, right? Then you have brain fog and eye pressure and all these other things. So that was her life. So going through that, we found essential oils. This is before I even met Halo. And we started using essential oils and making some slight diet changes. But with essential oils, that gave us the gift of her no longer on Lyrica, Percocets, antidepressants, all these sort of things. So essential oils are super powerful. They can support a lot of different ailments. Doesn't matter what they are. They have that opportunity. And now once you add Mystech, because what was happening is she wasn't on those things, which was fantastic. Like she's starting to see the light and we're starting to get up that hill. Is it was still energy levels. Her energy levels were still in the dumps. She was still taking naps. I was telling us when I think we actually met for the first time. And it was like, this is a problem. So it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to buy a couple of bracelets. We bought a couple of bracelets. It's like, okay, we'll see how it goes. That night, she didn't go to bed until like 10:30, 11. That was day one, right? Day two, she woke up at 8 o'clock. She went to bed at 10. I was like, what the heck? She's normally in bed. She usually takes a nap and goes to bed at like 7:30 with the kids. So I was like, this is cool. Didn't say anything. A week goes on. It's still happening. I was like, this shit's pretty cool. But the cool part is 2.5 years later, this household has not been sick, right? No flu symptoms, no colds, no nothing. The year prior, she was sick for 10 months, right? 9 different antibiotics. I'm not saying this is a coincidence, people, but we need to open our eyes to natural wellness. Our body needs natural tools for it to work naturally, right? You put chemical synthetics, all this crap in our body naturally doesn't know what that is. They think it's a disease. So they're going to start trying to detox it, and that becomes ailments, and we don't know how to fix that. So by using Mystech and our essential oils, this gives us the tools in our body to self-heal. I'm not saying that this is healing us, right? What I'm saying is it's giving our body the tools to self-heal, and that's what we're talking about.
Right. And dude, thank you. That's such like with Mystech for the longest time, right? Already. And now we're at a place where enough people understand, but that was the longest thing, is explaining and understanding like this is not healing you.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for the essential oils, because guys, I'm not telling you like the breathe, right? The breathe one. So that didn't make me breathe. It didn't heal me and give me the ability to breathe. I was already doing that. I just wasn't doing it well because of things that were restricted in my system, period, a multitude of my system. And this oil, like you smell it, you put on your chest, you put it in your hands. There's the different protocols that you do for different things. But the moment I did that, all of a sudden, everything became easier. And I was like, oh, wow, that's how my lungs are supposed to work. And so that's all that these things are doing. Guys, none of these things are actually healing you. They're removing the distorted parts of your being, not just your body, your being, all of it that's distorted and confused, and allowing it to act how it normally would, right? So if you had a cut on your finger, you can let it just sit there and it will heal naturally and normally on its own. But if it gets debris in there, it might take longer. It might scar. So you put a Band-Aid on it. It might get infected. So you put A&D. It's still healing on its own. You're just giving it a tool to make sure it's healing in the best way possible. And that's what this pairing is doing. It's hitting you from every multidimensional facet of the whole human being, and really allowing it not just to heal, but to supercharge aspects of what is supposed to already be there. Absolutely. Right? And I hate using this example, especially since you're Canadian, and I don't think you're one of the drinking Canadians, but I do these alcohol references every once in a while, right? So anyone out there that's ever been like overly hungover, right? And it's terrible. And then when you're back to normal, your normal feels like 1,000. And you're like, oh my God, whew, I feel so good, right? Yeah. Imagine not being hungover, but just your normal state. And then all of a sudden you come to this newfound, like, wait, this is my normal state. It's empowering, it's euphoric, it's motivating, it's inspiring. And it's a really, guys, I'm telling you, I've had my Kangen water machine for 5 years. I've never once like done an episode on, gosh, you need to get a Kangen water machine. We've talked about structured water here and there, sure, because of the relevance, but it's not one of those things where I'm like, get this. I just barely got my essential oils. I'm like, guys, you need to have these things, because I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've gotten feedback. If other people were here when Zion went through his whole thing and seeing that, I think you'd understand why I'm such an advocate for this. But this is one of these things, like the moment I came across Mystech and saw what we could do with it, I'm like, yeah, nothing else matters to me right now. I have to do this thing. And this was a very similar feeling of being able to pair with these oils, man. Like,
that was exactly what happened with what we were going through. And I remember this, and I'll never forget it. And this was my, it's an Oprah thing, but not that I follow that, but whatever. It was one of those aha moments. It was like, holy shit. It was like, so Andrea was in our bedroom, and she was on the floor in fetal position. I was downstairs. I came up and she was crying. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm in terrible pain." I said, "Should I phone 911?" I was like, she's like, "Give me a second." And she was crying. I was like, "Should I phone 911?" And she's like, "I think so." And I said, "Okay, so we have probably about 8 minutes before they get here, and we have, I don't know if you can see that little
Yep.
that little thing
Yep.
over there. So I
Still
have
touch
that.
oil. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have two of those, one in our bedroom, and we have some carrier oil there. So I was like, you know what? I just grabbed the bottle of the carrier oil, squirted it in my hand, it went all over the floor, all over the cabinet. I grabbed lemongrass, but if I don't even know how many drops I put into my hand. I didn't care. I grabbed lavender, and I was rubbing it on her stomach. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go call 911. And she's like, yeah, we probably should. The kids are asleep. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll figure it out. And by the time I got from the end of the bed to the phone, she goes, I think I'm okay. I'm like, what do you mean you're okay? It's like, are you okay? She's like, I think I'm okay. So I was like, what the heck just happened? So I'm trying to figure out, like, did something pass? Was it the oils, whatever? She's like, what did you put on me? I'm like, lemongrass and lavender. And I was like, okay. So it helps support, once again, your nervous system, calm the nervous system, calm the muscles, stuff like that. So I was like, holy crap, the oils worked.
Yep.
I was like, I need to know more. I need to learn more. I need to tell people. I need to educate people. And that's when I jumped full in. It's like, nothing else matters. So when you said that, I was like, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, when you have an experience like that to somebody that's that close to you, nothing else matters.
No.
That's the moment you go, I need to get this into more people's hands to help others.
Yep.
And that's what I've been doing since the day that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it's, dude, guys, as I was saying, like, I literally talk to this man every day.
Yep.
Like, even if we don't do a video call, it's a quick little just check in or whatever. But I've met a lot of like-minded individuals to a degree. But again, our conversations, our stories, the way that we got to where we are, all really line up. And dude, I love what you said too, because I've done that like 3 times now, where I'll grab my fractionated coconut oil and I'm like, all right, what's going on right now? All right. And I'm like, all right, so if I remember right, because I'm so new to this, guys, right? I'm not going to pretend. You guys look, we got Scott. He'll work with us, I'm sure.
Listen, if I don't know, there's tons of tools for us too, right? Like there's apps, there's a book, like there's tons of tools around for us. And now we have that guide that we can refer to. So
dude, I got a new doTERRA thing with this big package too. A big, huge.
That's what I mean. Like there's tons of information education, right?
Yep. And we'll continue building these programs too, together with what we're doing. But that's the thing, guys. And this is for me, anyone that's on the show, whether you know me through Alchemy 101, you don't miss any of those things. I want people to be liberated and be empowered to their divine self of whatever that is, right? If you want to go the wizardy route, great. But what I've found so far is every person that's gone in the self-development route somehow lands on being able to bend the rules of reality just a little bit. It's interesting. But this comes from routine and building these synapses. So and again, I guess I promise I'm giving you the delicate approach as much as I can, but exactly what he just said, imagine having a loved one there and having no other option than to what's the best I can do in the meantime. And these chemicals that you put in your body, you got to digest, there's negative side effects, so on. The oils, what's the time frame from either when you smell it or contact?
So within 20 seconds, it reaches the brain. Within 2 minutes, it's in your bloodstream. And within 20 minutes, it's in every cell in your body.
Within 20 minutes.
In every cell in your body.
And guys, and that's the regular oil.
Yeah.
So I'm saying when we soup this thing up, that's what I mean. So, and this is what I mean by experience. So how you said that, and I can only mentally put myself there so much, emotionally so much. But in my mind, this is what I'm seeing from my wizardy point of view. Imagine having this loved one there, having no options of what to do and going, I can grab these natural oils, put some of this in my hand, rub this together, and know within a matter of seconds and minutes, something is definitely going to be impacting them that's 100% natural, right? And guys, and I need to overly stress this, it's not a miracle thing to where it's going to heal and perfect everything, but how she was in excruciating pain about to go to the hospital, to being in a calm enough, relaxed enough, trusting enough state to comfortably stay at home with her family. That's a huge, huge thing. And that's what we're trying to do, take off these little things to not overly stress the system, to go into this crazy defense mode that's happening to so many people right now.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I say this term a lot now, and I hope you use it as well. I'm going to pass the trademark over to you, is self-directed healthcare.
Oh, I love it.
self-directed healthcare, right? It's about prevention, people. So we're giving you the tools to provide self-directed healthcare in your own household and in your workforce, in your workplace. It doesn't just have to be at home. Like I have a diffuser in my office. I have oils on my desk in my office.
Dude, I just put one in my car.
Yeah,
I just put one in my SUV. I just did it.
That's what I mean. So it is something that we want you to take with you. We want you to have in the office wherever you go. Like I travel, like I go to Honduras quite a bit, as you're saying. So yeah, I travel a little bit. Like I don't leave home without my diffuser, my supplements, and my oils. Like I physically have, I don't have it here. I physically have a travel pack that I carry.
Yeah.
And it has my stuff in it. It's literally like my first aid kit. Like that's what I do, right? It's phenomenal, and everyone should have it. And it's not expensive, people.
It's not.
It's not. If you think about what you pay for healthcare, what's healthcare now in the States, dude? I'm in Canada. It's a little bit easier for me, but.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? It's crazy. And look, and this is the thing. So you've got these options, right? You got all these things that are out there, right? So if we, and guys, this is the other thing I want to overly stress too. So for Emerald Alchemy of Mystech, when we launched the Phoenix frequency, and I really want to stress this because I got to sit and talk with Scott and finish getting these blends together. This is the first one that we're doing to empower you, to help you in your time of transition, to find motivation, to feel empowered, to let yourself literally be renewed and broken down. Like, I don't expect this to be easy for anybody right now, but again, we want to give you the tools. This is a very pleasant, very empowering scent, right? However, through doTERRA, I had something called like a flu bomb, right? And so I want you guys to know, like, while we're talking about all these things, I promise you, and this is what I'm really excited about because I'm an alchemist true and true. So the idea of being able to mix a multitude of different essential oils for literally any remedy that you could possibly want. And that's why I said remedy, not cure, right? Yeah. So for Zion, he has digestive stuff, right? He's allergic to a lot of things. So we have like a digestive thing we put on the bottom of his feet, and he seems to be doing a lot better. We have stuff we put on when it's bedtime. Seems to be doing a lot better.
So with that, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned this because there's a perfect opportunity with digestion. So it's gonna be kind of gross, but whatever. Say you have diarrhea, right? You go to the store, you're gonna buy a medication for diarrhea, right? It's gonna help with your diarrhea, but it's gonna have consequences with it, right? Whatever that thing you're gonna take, there's gonna be consequences. Or you're constipated, you're gonna go back to the store and you're going to take something for your constipation. It's going to fix that, but it's also going to have some other side effects. With essential oils, what I just mentioned to you is it's fixing the symptoms. The medications are fixing the symptoms. It's not fixing the problem. Right. With essential oils, it helps support the actual problem. So with essential oils, if you have diarrhea or you're constipated, it's the same oil, Digestin or Zengest, right, in the States. So you take that oil, you can put it on your feet, or you can rub it on your stomach, or if you're an adult, you can take 1 or 2 of those drops in a shot glass of water, and it's going to help support both of them because it's fixing your digestive system. That's the problem. Right. It's your digestive tract. And that's where people go, huh? They scratch their head because they're finally realizing that they're putting Band-Aids on symptoms versus dealing with the actual problem, the root cause of the problem. Right. And once you deal with that, all those ailments start going away because now you're fixing the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where Zion's gonna flourish because now you're dealing with his digestive tract issue. Right. My son had the exact same issue, and I wish I had oils when he was 2 and 3 because he was a colicky baby. And we knew it was a digestive because he was constantly puking, right? Yeah. He was gagging on anything he ate. It's like, oh, what's going on? He wouldn't sleep. So I wish I had these, man, 10 years ago.
Dude, I love it. I love it. And you know, with no school, Amonte's up here every day. And so now he's learning about it. And guys, look, I gotta tell you something. So I've talked with Scott's son plenty of times, sweet, amazing, bright kid. This guy could literally take spots with his dad right now and break all this down to you. This kid is super razor intelligent. You have no idea. He was
already at the door. He goes, "Is that Halo? Is that Halo?"
Yeah.
He's
man. Amazing kid. And look, I want to, and again, because I can't help my wizardly mindset. What you just said. Look, I'm going to reiterate this one more time. So in alchemy, right, the main rule of alchemy is equivalent exchange, right? You can't gain something without losing something. But the alchemist's job is always to break whatever it is that you're looking at, whatever it is you're dealing with, down to its base form. So Western medicine never does that. It just goes, oh, this is it. We'll fix that part. Forget about it. But what you just talked about is it's not just doing the like symptom, it's getting into the actual cause as well. So again, in alchemy, here we are again, guys. This is a medicine, a natural, essential thing that's going into your body and going, nah, that's it. Let's break down farther than that. Oh, this is what it is. So these essential oils are literally like little liquid alchemists getting in there and working for you. Like, what an amazing, dude, wow. You just gave me a whole.
Think about what you just said there. With Zion, he has digestive issues. Where are you putting the oils?
On his stomach, on the bottom of his feet.
So first you're just putting on his feet. Yep. You're putting oils on his feet, and it's fixing something or helping, supporting something in his stomach.
Yep. And yeah, really, for the first like 2 weeks, it was just on his feet because we didn't want him to touch it. And guys, all these things, of course, all these things we're talking about, be caution, be smart, read your labels, so on. But for a baby, you know, he's 2. So at first we didn't want to put it on his stomach. We didn't want him to touch it, touch his face, touch his eyes. But now he's at a point where like, here, smell it. And immediately, dude, I'll be like, flu bomb. And guys, he's about to be 3 and he goes, bum, 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 and runs around the house and makes me chase him down and tap him with the bomb and then put it on. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's actually the flume, which is what it is. We actually call it the flu bomb internally here too, but it's flume, Floom. So it's frankincense, lemon, oregano, on guard, and melaleuca, which is also called tea tree. So flume, and that there is a great immune booster for our systems. So you can make a rollerball like this, right? 5 drops, 10 drops, 10 drops, 10 drops, fill the rest up with carrier oil. And for kids, you actually half that, right? And you actually put more carrier oil because their bodies are actually less, right? So it's safe for kids, safe for babies, safe for adults. My parents use them. It's actually safe for animals too. So we didn't even get into that realm as of yet. Some oils are not safe for animals, but we can go through a lot of that stuff, and there's all this information that we can provide to them. So it's endless, man. It's endless.
It is. And I think, and sorry to put you on the spot now, you don't have to answer now, guys, but I might try to have Scott do like a show at least once a month or whatever, so we can get down and break down and really teach you guys about this. This is going to be a very, very big part of Mystech. We're expanding in a multitude of ways, and this is actually one of my very favorite ones that I put more time and focus into this than anything else. And
put it out there. Who wants more information on this sort of stuff? Throw some comments out there. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, please.
Why not?
We're almost up on our hour. We're a little over already, but it's fine. Our Artist First is awesome. They've always been really, really good to me. But yeah, if you guys, whether you're here live, you're seeing this on YouTube later, or you're on Artist First tonight, you can message me, halo@mystech, mystech.net. If you have any questions, any comments, even any ideas, guys, this is everything we're doing is community based. We want what's going to heal everybody, and there's no way any of us know all of it. So it's going to take the whole tribe, and we're just your couple guys out here trying to save the world, man. You know, that's
literally
how it feels. Literally. Yeah. And there's a handful of us out there, so it's great. And appreciate everyone that's had comments.
Nadia, comments in there. Tyler there too. Tamara's in there.
Paul. Yep. That's awesome. Everyone's fantastic.
Lots of good stuff out there, buddy.
So I don't know. You got anything else you want to leave everyone with before I let you go? Where can they find you? They want to get a hold of you. And guys, I got no problem, man. Reach out to him. He's amazing guy.
Facebook, Scott Manduck on Facebook. Let's try to make let's change some lives here with some essential oils, some Mystech stuff, and we got some good stuff coming.
Yeah, and I'll have all the links for my doTERRA stuff really soon. I just haven't had him finish walking me through it. But otherwise, hit me up and we'll get you guys all set.
By the weekend, we'll have it all set up.
Yeah. And thank you guys, man. It's been awesome. Everyone at Artist First, thank you guys. I think we'll be doing a live show with my wife next week. We have a big announcement. No, we're not having a baby. Sorry.
You're not having. I was gonna say, dude.
We're pregnant. We're pregnant with excitement. We're pregnant with excitement. Right. This was. But yeah. So I'm Halo Marquez, your local wizard, the Pharaoh Frequency, the Jedi Alchemist. Wishing you guys all the abundance and blessings in the multiverse. Remember to acknowledge your lead and transform it into gold. And I will see you guys next week. I love you guys.
Love you guys. See you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Let me stop this sharing thing. Bob.